Good morning, grade 2. So today we are starting a new theme about animals, and we're going to learn about farm animals and wild animals and so forth. But I quickly want to go through all the different types of habitats that house the different types of animals. So pets, obviously, they live in your house. Farm animals on the farm, wild animals in the fields, zoo animals don't count. So naturally, where they will be living. Okay, so animal habitats. Habitats give animals food, water, shelter, space to move around. So the swallows who migrate during winter here by us, they go to Europe for summer. They won't go somewhere where there isn't food, where there isn't water, shelter, space to move around. So all of these are requirements for them to move. Like most of us, we say we have to have a pool, we have to have 3 bathrooms. It's like the same, but it's the necessities. Okay, so there are 6 different habitats in the world. So there's tropical rainforest, tide pools or oceans. So we're not really discussing oceans, it's just the tide pools in the oceans. Polar ice or the Arctic, forest and desert, and then grasslands or savanna. So most of central South Africa is grasslands. Then we have a little bit of forest, a little bit of desert, but we're mostly grasslands in varying degrees of rain and such. Okay, so grasslands. Grasslands have a lot of tall grass. It's not very much rain, so it doesn't rain in all the seasons. It will probably just rain in the summer and not as much. It's open and flat land, especially in the Free State. It's flat. Okay, it's great farmland because the ground is easy to work because it's not hills and such, and it also has wildflowers. Okay, so grasslands, what kind of animals would we find there? So it's all the animals we know. Okay, so can you remember? Zebra lives there. Alright. Okay, polar ice or the Arctic, it's very cold temperatures, even in summer. There's always ice, even though it's melting now because of climate change, and it will snow there sometimes, probably mostly in the winter. Okay, so what kind of animals would you expect to see there? So we know these animals, polar bear, penguin, etc. Okay, next is the desert. So it is dry, it almost never rains there. Can be very hot, and at night it can be very cold, and not many plants or animals because there isn't water, there isn't food, there isn't necessary shelter. Okay, so snakes and scorpions and these things will live there because they can go under rocks or into the ground. There won't be a lot of birds, there won't be a lot of animals that eat leaves or grass, do you understand? Okay, so what kind of animals would you expect to see there? So there's like cacti. So the animals that do live there, they would eat the succulents because the succulents have water stored up in their leaves. Okay, so ostriches, meerkats, scorpions, etc. Alright, next. Forest is a large wooded area. It has lots of trees, lots of plants. It's usually very nice, beautiful, green. I love a forest. It has a lot of insects because there's a lot of tiny hiding places, like a lot of shelter for the big animals and the small animals. They live in the logs and under the leaves and under the rocks. So there's a lot of bugs there because they're safe there. Okay, so what animals live there is squirrels and deer and bears and eagles. I'm not sure. Okay, then tropical rainforest. So this is like Brazil, where it's almost always raining. It's always cloudy, it's always humid, it's literally always wet. Okay, so it has a lot of rainfall, a lot of trees and plants. Like the whole place is covered in trees and plants. Then it doesn't allow much sunlight because the treetops cover it. It's like a roof from the treetops. It's also called a jungle because there's a lot of vines also growing, and it's warm all year because of the humidity and everything. Okay, that's that one. Okay, rainforest animals, so gorilla, very beautiful bugs will be there, and lots of beautiful insects and reptiles and things, and the birds. Okay, then, whoops. Okay, tide pools or oceans, so it's found on the seashore. It's usually between the rocks, I can't remember what you call it. It's rocky pools of seawater because when the tide comes, it gives water and takes it away again. The water goes from deep to shallow and from warm to cold. So the deeper it goes, the colder it gets. Okay, what kind of animals? So there you can see it's like in between all the rocks, and there's lots of plants. And then the fish are usually in there, these tiny little fishes, and then you put a chippy in there, and that's what we do. Put a chippy in there and they all come, and then you take your net, and then you can go fishing with those little fishes. Okay, and there's obviously the starfish and everything else in there. Tide pool animals, where's the animals? Oh, this is the animals, so sea urchins, sea stars, I'm not sure, corals or whatever that is. And you will find sea snakes. I found a sea snake in there. I'll try and go through my archives of all the animals I've seen at the ocean. Okay, that's that. Thank you.